The movie opens on Christmas Eve in Bristol, England. The real Santa Claus is in a pub, drinking the night away before returning to deliver presents. He speaks with a neighboring mall Santa, who is glad to do his job, but old Saint Nick has become cynical and disillusioned with the holiday, as people only worry about presents and are getting increasingly naughty. Just before departing, Santa leaves a gift for the bartender's grandson, who is perplexed as to how he learned about him. She follows him to the rooftop to chastise him, believing he's just another drunk, only to look up and see Santa speeding away in his sleigh, pulled by his reindeer. Just as the bartender is admiring Santa's authenticity, he barfs over the edge of the sleigh, landing on her face. Jason Lightstone is in Connecticut to meet with his estranged wife Linda and their daughter Trudy. While the two parents try to make the holiday special for Trudy, they are going through a difficult time. The three visit Jason's family's mansion, as the Lightstones are quite affluent. Jason's mother, Gertrude, is the harsh CEO of her company, and his sister Alva is anxious for their mother to recognize her because she believes Jason is Gertrude's favorite child. She is joined by her dim-witted actor boyfriend Morgan Steele and her obnoxious teen son Bert. Santa despises Christmas, leaving money in stockings and other useless devices and gizmos. He eats the cookies and milk left out for him, but he also helps himself to other people's alcohol. When he arrives at the Lightstone house, he uses their massage chair. Jason and Linda decide to let Trudy open one gift early, a pair of walkie-talkies. When they leave her room, they overhear her talk on it as if she were talking to Santa, claiming that her one Christmas desire is for her parents to reconcile. Jason and Linda both have regretful expressions. A group of mercenaries acting as employees begins their plan when one of the mercs, Gingerbread, knocks down the head of security. Scrooge, the leader, kills the man at the front gate before entering the Lightstone house and rounding up his other mercenaries to hold the family hostage. According to Scrooge, Gertrude stockpiled $300 million that was supposed to be distributed to the Middle East, and the money is stashed in a vault somewhere in the mansion. Santa overhears the gunfire and seeks to flee, but he gets captured by a goon named Tinsel. He tries to beat Santa down, but he recovers and fights back. The gunshot from Tinsel's rifle frightens the reindeer, causing them to flee and leaving Santa stranded. In the ensuing struggle, Santa and Tinsel fall out of a window, but Santa is unharmed, while Tinsel is impaled on an icicle. Since he doesn't have enough Christmas magic to go out, Santa goes to the front gate and discovers the operator has died. Trudy then speaks on the walkie-talkie, while Santa picks up the other one to call for aid. When she asks for his help, Santa decides to stay. When Santa returns to the house, he is met by another merc, Frosty. They fight more brutally, with Frosty attempting to stab Santa, but Santa defends himself with his magic bag of gifts. Santa snatches the star from the Christmas tree, inserts it into Frosty's eye, and plugs it into an outlet, electrocuting Frosty and setting his head on fire. When Scrooge tries to contact his mercenaries, Santa answers Frosty's walkie-talkie and warns him that Frosty has died and that the rest of them will follow soon. Scrooge sends his men to seek for Santa while insulting the Lightstones. He has his henchwoman Candy Cane torture Jason by breaking one of his fingers with a nutcracker before attempting to use a larger nutcracker for a more literal purpose. Before they can hurt Jason any further, Trudy intervenes to yell at the villains, claiming Santa is there to help them, until Jason tells her there is no such thing as Santa, and that parents place Christmas gifts under trees and claim they are from him. Trudy runs crying and hides in the attic as the goons pursue her. She speaks with Santa again on the walkie-talkie, and he confirms he's the real deal by recounting all of the gifts she's asked for throughout the years, restoring her confidence in the guy. When she mentions the wicked guys, Santa checks his naughty list and finds all of their names, while reminding Trudy that she has always been on the nice list. Scrooge continues to annoy the family by having the adults give Gertrude her gifts. Morgan makes a business proposal to advance his career, which Gertrude clearly rejects, while Alva gives her a framed picture of the day she was born, which Gertrude also dismisses. They then take Jason's gift, which is a bottle of whiskey, and a note that he does not want Gertrude to read. She reads it, but then says whatever is on it can be kept between the two of them. Santa discovers Candy Cane and attempts to knock her out, only for a toy Santa to activate and reveal his identity. She informs Scrooge, who proceeds with gingerbread to find Santa, who is hiding under the attic. The villains knock him out and tie him up, demanding to know his true identity. Santa then reveals the villains' true identities. Scrooge is Jimmy, Gingerbread is Bjorn, and Candy Cane is Kira, as well as the gifts they requested were kids. Scrooge expresses his dislike for Christmas because his family could not afford to celebrate it when his father was laid off, and he attempted to steal presents from a neighbor's house, terrifying their grandfather and leading him to fall down the steps and break his neck. Trudy creates a diversion from the attic by blowing styrofoam through the vents to produce false snow, briefly convincing the baddies to believe in Santa and allowing him to use his magic to fire himself up the chimney to escape. Morgan tries to escape by jumping out the window. This occurs just as Gertrude's extraction team arrives to rescue the family. Unfortunately, Morgan discovers they are working with Scrooge when the leader, Commander Thorpe, orders his troops to execute him. Scrooge chats to Thorpe and warns him about Santa, and Santa notices more bad persons' names appear on the naughty list, indicating that he has more work to do. While Santa is thinking about his next move, he tells Trudy about his past. Centuries ago, he was a vicious Viking warrior known as Nicomund the Red, who demolished his adversaries with his huge hammer Skullcrusher. While he has subsequently attempted to overcome his violent tendencies, Trudy encourages him to put those abilities to good use. Just as the extraction squad is about to attack the house, Santa discovers a nearby sledgehammer in the basement and begins pulverizing the baddies, as well as using a sharpened candy cane as a shiv. Trudy sets up Home Alone-inspired traps under the attic just as Gingerbread and Candy Cane pursue her. Gingerbread steps through a broken ladder rung, causing his chin to become impaled on a nail. Candy Cane tries to get ahead of him by climbing over him, and she sees most of Trudy's traps coming, but she is still hit with a few bowling balls. One of them comes out of the attic and strikes Gingerbread, causing him to tumble ass first upon a pile of nails. He pulls out a nail, only for another bowling ball to fall and strike the nail into his skull, killing him. Candy Cane goes after Trudy until Santa arrives and bashes her brains out before saving her. When Scrooge and Thorpe walk under the house, they discover that Gertrude's vault has been emptied. Enraged, they approach Gertrude and hold Linda at gunpoint until someone speaks up. This prompts Jason to get up and admit that he took the money in order to flee with Linda and Trudy in search of a better life and to disassociate himself from his family. That's what he wrote on the note to Gertrude, hoping she would notice it the next morning before realizing what he had done. When the villains are summoned, henchman Krampus threatens to murder Linda, Alva, or Bert. The three argue about who should be shot, prompting Alva to distract Krampus by throwing wine into the fireplace behind him, stunning him. The three then pummel Krampus until Alva inserts a fire poker into his neck. Santa then transports Trudy back to Linda. Scrooge and Thorpe take Gertrude with them and begin their escape. More goons appear, but the remaining Lightstones fight back. While Santa pursues Scrooge, Jason and Linda fight off the remaining villains in a nativity scene. After murdering the final few guys, Jason and Linda kiss passionately, which Trudy gleefully observes. Santa chases the villains on a snowmobile, killing the last few goons before knocking Thorpe off and going after Scrooge. The two fight brutally, with Scrooge using every weapon at his disposal to pierce Santa. He then finds the naughty list and sees his name on it, which finally convinces him that Santa Claus is real. Scrooge claims that murdering him will signal the end of Christmas. But because Scrooge now believes Santa has enough magic to pull Scrooge up a nearby chimney, crushing his body along the way and shooting chunks of Scrooge out the top. Thorpe shoots Santa 4 times and prepares to execute him just as Santa feels victorious, but Gertrude, who has seized a nearby gun, shoots Thorpe in the head. The remaining Lightstones arrive and try to assist Santa. Despite Alva's objections, Jason burns some of the money to stay warm. It appears that Santa is dying until Trudy tells him that she still believes in him and always will. Linda then claims to believe because Santa saved their family, and Jason agrees. Bert, Gertrude, and Alva reluctantly take part, allowing Santa to be restored. Santa thanks the Lightstones, who express their gratitude, and he discovers the reindeer returning with his sleigh, complete with the original Skull Crusher and a note from Mrs. Claus. Santa bids the Lightstones goodnight before flying away into the night to complete his Christmas chores. In the final scene, Bert uploads a TikTok video over a dead Merc's body to show his followers that Santa actually exists.